Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into how information technology, or IT, has gone from being a back-office support team to being the absolute engine of modern business. We're going to see how it drives pretty much everything a company does. So let's get into it.
That's a pretty bold statement, right? But honestly, it's the fundamental reality we live in. It doesn't matter if you're a massive global company or the coffee shop down the street. Your operations, the way you connect with your customers, your chances for future growth, it's all powered by digital tech.
So what does that actually mean in the real world? It's a fantastic question, and the answer is, well, it means a total transformation. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why IT isn't just a department anymore, it's the thing running the entire show.
Okay, so how did we even get here? Well, we're living in this brand new era, and it's not defined by just one invention. Nope, it's defined by a powerful convergence, a perfect storm of several groundbreaking technologies all maturing at the exact same time.
See, these things aren't just separate trends. Social media, the supercomputer you carry around in your pocket, the ability to analyze massive amounts of data, cloud services, they're all blending together. And this mix is completely changing what we as customers expect from businesses and what employees can actually get done.
And right at the heart of all this is cloud computing. Instead of a company having to buy and manage its own huge, expensive servers, which is kind of like renting a whole apartment building, they can just access computing power as a service. The analogy here is perfect. It's like booking a hotel room. You use what you need for as long as you need it, and someone else handles all the messy maintenance. It's a total game changer, making incredible technology accessible and flexible for everyone.
All right, with this new tech foundation in place, let's look at the first huge challenge for any business. How do you find and keep customers? I mean, in this massive digital world, how does any company get noticed?
One of the most critical tools in the toolbox is search engine optimization, or SEO. This is basically the science and kind of the art of making sure that when you go and search for running shoes or best pizza near me, a specific company shows up right at the top of that list. It's all about being the answer to a customer's question at the very moment they're asking it.
So, how do search engines decide who gets that top spot? Well, they're looking for signals of quality. Things like the click-through rate. Do people actually click on your link when they see it? And dwell time. Once they click, do they stick around and read, or do they hit the back button right away? They also check out technical stuff on the page, and crucially, whether other trustworthy sites are linking to you. But at the end of the day, it's all about one thing: having genuinely useful stuff that helps the user.
Let's make this real for a second. Nike is obviously a global giant, but their golf brand was really struggling to get noticed in online searches. So what they do? They went all in on SEO, optimizing their website around the exact words and phrases potential customers were using. The result? A huge boost in their online visibility. It's a perfect example of how this stuff drives real business.
Getting found is only half the battle. Once someone is on your website, how do you give them an experience that feels personal? That's where recommendation engines come in. You've seen this a million times. It's the magic behind customers who bought this also bought, or because you watched this movie, you might like this one.
And this is just a fantastic example of their power. Wine.com had this huge challenge. How do you possibly replicate the advice of a really great, knowledgeable salesperson in a virtual wine shop? Their solution was a super smart recommendation engine that actually learned what its customers liked. The result? They became the biggest online wine retailer in the world. That's technology creating a personal touch, but at a massive scale.
So, winning a customer is awesome, but it's really just the beginning. Now you actually have to make the product and get it to them. And that brings us to the incredibly complex world of modern operations, which, you guessed it, is also run by IT. We're talking about something called supply chain management. This is the entire epic journey of a product from the raw materials in the ground to a factory, through warehouses, onto trucks and ships, and finally onto a store shelf or your doorstep. Managing that flow of physical stuff and all the information that goes with it is just a monumental task.
So how on earth do you manage it? With data. Take Safeway and PepsiCo. They wanted to get way better at predicting exactly how many bags of chips they needed in every single store. By using these powerful data visualization tools to analyze sales data right from the cash register, they could literally see patterns emerge. This allowed them to stock their shelves way more efficiently, cutting down on waste and making sure you could always find your favorite snack.
Okay, so we've seen how IT helps win customers and how it manages the nitty-gritty of operations. But the real magic, the true power,
happens when you connect these two worlds. A truly modern company just can't have its different departments flying blind and not talking to each other. In this slide really shows the core problem. You've got the old way, with siloed departments. It's like every department is on its own little island of information. Sales has no idea what manufacturing is doing, and finance can't get a clear picture of anything. An integrated system completely demolishes those walls. It creates a single source of truth for the entire company.
The solution that makes this all possible is called an Enterprise Resource Planning System, or ERP. The best way to think about it is as the central nervous system of a company. It's this one massive piece of software that connects every single function, making sure everyone, everywhere is working with the same real-time information.
But, and you knew there was a but coming, right? Creating this incredibly powerful interconnected system is definitely not without its dangers. This level of integration and deep reliance on technology brings some serious risks that have to be managed very, very carefully.
And the stakes are just unbelievably high. These ERP projects are notoriously complex, and when they fail, they can fail in the most spectacular ways. We're talking about companies like Hershey and Avon facing massive financial losses, supply chain chaos, just total disaster from failed projects. It really shows you that this transition is a high-risk, high-reward game.
And beyond the risk of the project just failing, there's another huge danger. This quote here just captures the dilemma perfectly. In the crazy rush to connect everything, every device, every employee, every single system, security can sometimes get treated like an afterthought. And that creates some really dangerous openings for attackers.
Understanding an attack is actually pretty simple, in theory. First, there's a threat, the bad guy. They're looking for a vulnerability, a crack in the defenses, a little weakness. And then they use an exploit, a specialized piece of code or a tool, to wiggle through that crack and get inside. The more complex and connected your systems get, the more little cracks there are to find.
And the tools these attackers are using are incredibly powerful. Take a botnet. It's basically a remote-controlled army of infected zombie computers. A single attacker, the botmaster, can command thousands, even millions, of these zombie machines to launch these enormous attacks. It just shows you the scale and seriousness of the threats we're dealing with today.
So we've seen how IT is the engine for modern business, from finding customers to running the entire operation. And we've looked at the very real risks involved. But that engine is constantly being upgraded. As we look to the future, you have to ask, with amazing technologies like AI and 3D printing becoming totally mainstream, how are they going to reshape not just how businesses operate, but what they are even capable of becoming? We'll leave you with that thought. Thanks for joining us.